School's out and the games are in. Hey guys, welcome to CatCast, all of your new gaming news, patch notes from all of your favorite games, here on Spreaker Radio. How's it going today, guys? Okay, so today I'm going to be talking about Overwatch. Now, Overwatch was a game released by Blizzard this past year. It was released on May 24th with a beta, and then it was announced at BlizzCon on November 7th in 2014, and in the past week, it has grown in statistics in Korea. Now, like a lot of games that are played at Korean internet cafes, also known as PC bangs, the top leading one and prior to this past week has been League of Legends at 27.8%. Now, they asked all of the patrons there which game they would prefer, and it came to be that Overwatch was the game of choice of more than 30%. Now, if you don't know anything about League of Legends is basically a fast-paced competitive online game that blends the speed and intensity of an RTS with RPG elements. Now, it's basically two teams of powerful champions, each with unique designs and playstyles, battle head-to-head across multiple battlefields and game modes. There are also other ways that like different maps that you can play and different ways that you can play each of those champions in your own unique way. As for Overwatch, the story of Overwatch starts in a highly functionalized version of future Earth, where humans and robots known as the Omnics existed together. Obviously, the peace did not last. The Omniums producing the Omnics went rogue and began constructing materialized robots to stage an uprising. Now, to fight back, the UN found the most elite soldiers from around the world and formed the peacekeeping force known as Overwatch, which then stems to the name of the game. Now, when they asked people, the reason being, mainly because Overwatch is just really easy to get into. Now, Overwatch is more popular than League of Legends in Korea's cyber cafes. Overwatch and League of Legends are basically battling it out in South Korea. Now, the list goes on, but the gist is still the same. As of the week of June 20th, more players in South Korean PC bangs are playing Overwatch than League of Legends. Now, I mean, it's definitely interesting, but it's not exactly convincing that everything is just falling apart just yet. Now, Overwatch is undeniably a great game and has potential to become one of the biggest esports in the world, but I do not personally think it's quite there. Now, Overwatch still has a lot to prove, and League of Legends is still holding strong as the biggest PC game in the world. If you're going to come at the king, you best not miss, as the words from esports.yahoo said. Now, Overwatch is really incredibly easy to get into, considering, according to not according to League of Legends, but, for League of Legends players, if you aren't fit for that type of game, you're not going to get into it. Now, that's the difference between Leagues and, Overwatch. Now, with Overwatch being, fairly easy to get into, and League not being able to, short games basically just means more games. Now, because many gamers in Korea don't have PCs at home, they spend their time in pay-by-the-hour cafes. Now, while the price is still, pretty cheap, you're still paying to get in as many matches of whatever game you're playing possible. Now, Overwatch is great because a game rarely lasts more than 10 minutes. In League of Legends, you're lucky to get out of there in 30 to 45 minutes, And, I mean, it's just pure value proposition, but it's especially appealing when you're just trying out a newly released game. Now, what's more, the quick match times let players feel like they're getting better minute-by-minute gameplay, or quickly learn from their losses. And when you're learning a new game, that's just intoxicating. Again, it's not clear if that feeling will last in a competitive setting, but who knows, the scene is still young. Now, Blizzard is very, very good at hyping their games. Blizzard is exceptionally good at marketing their games as well. For Overwatch, they dropped several closed and open beta weeks, teasing the fun that would be coming in the final version of the game. Now, they released a multitude of exceedingly well-produced cinematics to introduce players to the characters and game world. They even put together massive action figures to display in major cities around the globe just for the sake of hype. Now, with League of Legends, you have, the beta, but what else are you going to play after that? And that's only if you get into the PvE network. Now, the result was literally everyone on the planet talking about Overwatch. Over 10 million people bought the game in the first couple months of release, and it instantly established itself as one of the most popular multiplayer games in the world. But how long can that really last? Now, I don't mean to imply that it won't continue to be popular. I have no real argument for why it wouldn't. However, we do know that League of Legends has managed to hold onto its top spot for more than 4 years and shows very little sign of decline. Now, it's not growing as quickly as it once was, but it still has easily the biggest fan base of any other PC or console game out there. With that being said, League of Legends is only available on PC, and it's still one of the biggest played online games. Now, Overwatch might be able to actually get there eventually, but that will take a lot of work, from the community. And to get the community, enamored enough to do so, Blizzard is going to have to put in a lot of effort. Now, thankfully, Blizzard has the track record to pull it off. Just look at how they've worked in the past releases. If they treat Overwatch with the same tender loving care as, say, Diablo 3 or Hearthstone, we could have a monster on our hands. And some people hope that you do. Now, for me, being a proud League of Legends player, I don't really want to see it happen, but if it does, that's great. Because, Blizzard Entertainment has long held a special place in the hearts of Korean gamers, thanks to the enduring success of StarCraft. Now, the sci-fi strategy game has been one of the country's biggest hits since its launch in 1998. Now, and then it started spawning professional tournaments with well-known players. That includes Overwatch star DVA, who, according to game's lore, is a top-ranked StarCraft player before joining the newest franchise's cast. Overwatch will soon get a competitive mode of its own, which Korean players were the first to try out. That will roll out to everyone later this month. Now, many of the statistics have been getting reached out to Blizzard, and to update it. And there was some other information about Overwatch player reaching level 100 1 week after the launch. Now, the May 30th broadcast runs for nearly 15 hours, an average session length for Cinderella, who has logged more than 92 hours in Overwatch since the game's servers went live on May 23rd. Now, in an Ask Me Anything session he hosted on Reddit following his stream, he mentioned that he usually plays the game for around 13 hours a day. Me personally, I sit behind my computer for about 12 hours a day, but I'm not sitting there playing the same game over and over again. I have to take a break or my brain is just going to burn out. Now, much of that time has been spent playing as offensive hero Pharah, as seen in his profile overview. Now, he has a 51% win rate, as seen on his Master Overwatch page, and has played 727 total games as of that week. Overwatch has no level cap, but 100 is still a big number to hit in just 1 week. There's an experience cap, though. Following level 23, players need only gain 22,000 experience to hit the next level. Then after reaching 100, players' portrait borders are changed up with an updated image reflecting their level. You can see Cinderella's fancy new border in the image at the top right. It's on the left-hand side of the screen. You can watch Cinderella's achievement in an archive of the stream. You can usually tune in around the 14-hour, 50-minute mark to watch the achievement setting match unfurl. So, with Overwatch taking its toll, I think my voice is also taking a toll on this podcast. And with some things being said, Overwatch does have some interesting traits that can be really hard to get into. Same thing with League. It has some traits that can be really hard to get into. But we can talk about that in the next podcast. Thank you guys for listening. My name's Catalea, and I'll see you guys in the next podcast. Hey guys, welcome to CatCast, all of your new gaming news, patch notes from all of your favorite games, here on Spreaker Radio.